Shalom Yasha'Allah. First and foremost, want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honor to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who grew well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that pushes the great gospel in sincerity and truth. This your brother Tazakai Yahweh from the great millstone, Indianapolis camp, coming at you another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shai, and Lord willing, it be edifying. Got an article here from Activist Post, and it reads, the global fertilizer shortage means that far less food will be grown all over the planet in 2022. This article came out April 6, 2022, the year Yahweh Shai turning up. And right here we got got this image right here. I like this image where it got the clock almost towards noon, which symbolizing, the end of this wicked kingdom of Esau, Edom's queendom. When it reached to noon, it says, I'm gonna start right here. I never imagined that I would be writing so much about fertilizer in 2022. When I was growing up, there were only two things that I knew about fertilizer. I knew that it helped stuff grow, and I knew that it smelled bad. But these days, experts are telling us that a global shortage of fertilizer could result in horrifying famines all over the world. Right now, to a very large degree, we are still eating food that was produced in 2021. But by the end of the year, to a very large degree, we will be eating food that was produced in 2022. Unfortunately for all of us, it appears that the lack of fertilizer will mean that far less food is grown in 2022 than originally anticipated. And it really is unfortunately for those who are now the elect. It says, thanks to an unprecedented explosion in energy prices, we were already facing fertilizer crisis even before the war in Ukraine, but now that the war has definitely taken things to the next level, under normal conditions, a great deal of the world's fertilizer comes from either Russia, Belarus, or Ukraine. A fertilizer shortage has added to the growing concerns about the Ukraine war's impact on the price and scarcity of certain basic foods. Combined, Russia and Belarus have provided about 40% of the world's exports of potash, according to Morgan Stanley. Russia's exports were hit by sanctions further in February. A major Belarus producer declared force majeure, I'm not sure how to say that, a statement that it wouldn't be able to uphold its contracts due to forces beyond its control. Russia also exported 11% of the world's urea and 48% of the ammonium nitrate. Russia and Ukraine together exported 28% of fertilizers made from nitrogen and phosphorus, as well as potassium, according to Morgan Stanley. Global hunger rose significantly in both 2020 and 2021, but what we are going to be dealing with in the months ahead is going to be completely unlike anything that we have dealt with in the past. In fact, one commodity expert that was interviewed by CNBC is extremely pessimistic about what is ahead. All of this is a double whammy, if not a triple whammy, said Bart Melick, global head of commodity strategy at TD Securities. We have geopolitical risk, higher input costs, and basically shortages. We have never seen anything like this before. Since the beginning of 2021, some fertilizer prices have more than doubled, and some fertilizer prices have more than tripled. Some fertilizers have more than doubled in price. For instance, Malik said potash traded in Vancouver was priced at about $210 per metric ton at the beginning of 2021, and it's now valued at $565. He added that urea for I'm saying that right, for delivery to the Middle East was trading at $268 per metric ton on the Chicago Board of Trade in early 2021 and was valued at $887.50 on Tuesday. Damn. Now, one thing I will say is, as a matter of fact, one thing I will say is when I did an article not too long ago, as far as like the farmers was, complaining about, the shortage of seeds and stuff like that, they also mentioned, the fertilizer as well, saying that, it costs more now to, buy more fertilizer. So that's going to cut into what their revenue as far as what they bring home as far as to protect, to provide for their families. So they saying like pretty much they going to have to, the things that they were planting and the fertilizer they was getting, they going to have to make cuts and pretty much grow something else as opposed to what they normally grow. It also shortages on feed for the animals, for cattle. So pretty much, the farmers, they feeling it. They getting hit, as far as, with this fertilizer and this shortage of these shortages. And that's also all, going into, prophecy, which Lord willing we get into, after this article. It's saying in some parts of the globe it is even worse. In Peru, fertilizer prices have experienced an almost fourfold increase. The global fertilizer squeeze, exacerbated by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, is imperiling rice production in Peru, where the seed is a staple for tens of millions of people. Prices of the crop nutrient urea have surged almost fourfold amid supply scarcities, add to the cost inflation for growers, according to the Peruvian Association of Rice Producers. That same article goes on to explain that many farmers in Peru won't be able to afford to plant crops at all this year. See, look, so how they was some people were saying that they could only grow maybe 25% or maybe 50% what they could, and these places they can't grow at all. You see, that's going, like I said, that's going to ultimately affect the whole world. If that sounds familiar, that is because this is something that I have been warning about for months. Which you understand that the men of the Lord, starting our apostles and elders, on down, been particularly with them, have been warning the world for decades. And also, that, like I said, the elders on down as well, who've been in for a number of years. So really, the men of the Lord been warning you. Yeah, these whistleblowers, they all played a role. The Lord put the Spirit on them to expose this man and expose what's going on. But it's really the men of the Lord who is actually taking these things and breaking them down and deciphering what's going on in the world through the scriptures, via the prophecies. It say in particular here in the United States, it simply is not going to be profitable for many farmers to grow corn this year, right? See, because corn needs a high amount of fertilizer. All over the world, far less fertilizer will be used in 2022, and that means that far less food will be grown. There will be famines, and one expert is even warning that food scarcity will touch people in the lower income distribution in North America. We're talking about an erosion of food security on the scale we have not seen for a long time, and I think it will touch people in the lower income distribution in North America, he added. But as long as you have a decent income, you will still be able to go to the store and buy food in months ahead. It just might cost you a lot more, which people have been experiencing. Even in 2021, the prices has been rising. Inflation has been hitting. You know what I'm saying? At some points, at some parts of facets of life, even hyperinflation has been hitting. So this is something that's going to definitely continue to get worse and worse. They say during a recent interview with Tucker Carlson, farmer Ben Rinsk warned that Americans could soon be paying $1,000 more a month for their groceries. Groceries alone. They already done rose the prices of rent and these power and other bills as well. So all commodities are going to be risen up. That's going to cause a problem for the people. It says soaring fertilizer prices are likely to bring spiked food prices. If you're upset that gas is up $1 or $2 a gallon, wait until your grocery bill is up $1,000 a month, and it might not just manifest itself. And it might not just manifest itself in terms of price. It could be quantity as well. Empty shelf syndromes may be starting. Can you afford to pay $1,000 more for groceries every month? If not, you better stock up now, while prices are still relatively reasonable. And as we speak, we're not saying you wicked as far as like getting a little bit extra, but not like stockpile how these people be hoarding food and stuff like that. Because even the church is gonna say, man, that's gonna be taking all those things that they heap for themselves, that they stock up, and that's gonna be taken from them by other people, whether it be people that's going around saying they out there trying to fend for themselves, get food for themselves or for their families, for the regular, civilian, or you got or troops. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be coming around and taking stealing and spoiling people as well. So, hey, like I said earlier, if you're not the elect, it don't matter if like I said, be wise, but you don't have to overdo anything like that or go crazy, because as also the scriptures say, we shall be as pilgrims upon the earth. So you may be moving from place to place to place. So you ain't gonna be able to stock and carry thousands of pounds of food or whatever. The Lord gonna provide the things that you need in the times to come. It says, of course, there are certain things that you will not be able to stock up on because they simply aren't there. Shortages are intensifying all over the country, and in particular, we have seen an alarming shortage of pasta begin to happen in certain stores. The following comes from an article that was just posted on All News Pipeline. First, it was eggs, and now it's also pasta. The eggs have been missing for well over a week now, and yesterday morning, I was surprised to see pasta was almost mostly bare. Also, some of the shelves have the old crown trick of pushing everything together and up to the front of the shelf. This is Sioux Falls SD. No eggs for over a week. Very little pasta left. Of course, the shortage of eggs is related to the shortage of pasta because eggs are used in making pasta. I have been trying to explain to my readers that this new bird flu pandemic is going to be a really, really big deal. As I mentioned yesterday, 28 million chickens and turkeys are already dead in less than 2 months. And things are already so bad that our pasta is starting to disappear from our store shelves. If things are this crazy already, what will the conditions be like 6 months from now? And, those of us of the household of faith, hey, we hope that it become worse 6 months from now. It's you might want to think about it. I have been trying to sound the alarm almost about a coming global famine for years, and now it's here. Global food riots have already started, but what we have seen so far is just the tip of the iceberg. Like I said at the top of this article, for now we are still eating food that was produced last year to a large degree. Just wait until when we get to the end of this year and beyond, it won't be pretty. Unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures, and I hope that this article will give you the sense of urgency to take action. Unfortunately, most people still assume that everything will turn out just fine somehow, and so they won't do anything to get prepared until it is far too late. And then here you go, he won't. First, he tell you, saying, buy food and buy this and that, but he also wants you to buy his damn book and shit like that. You people are, man, and Esau, man, always trying to make a dollar. But let's get the understanding of what fertilizer do, because it's definitely a big thing. Fertilizer is a chemical or natural substance added to soil or land to increase its fertility. So that's why we be having those large yields of crops, because the fertilizer helps fertilize the land. You know what I'm saying? It makes it better. It makes the soil rich for more crops to be grown. Without that, that means they're going to be a smaller crop yield. So the things that they was able to plant and get large quantity of, now that's going to be cut down to get smaller quantities. So that's going to result in the shortage versus what they was able to produce last year as opposed to this year. So that fertilizer, hey, plays a big deal. But go ahead and get into these scriptures. This is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And the people of Yahweh Bashim Shai are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you speckled bird, who look like the heathen, because we were scattered amongst them. And begin to mate with them. It says, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. We are saying the things, we are speaking. Prophecy means to say before. So we're saying what's going to happen before it happens. That's why it's imperative that you get prepared and ultimately come back to your Bashim El Shai, so that, you take heed of the warning, so that you may be preserved and know and have that wisdom, knowledge, understanding, of the times when these things start to come to pass. Say, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. So these are the words of Yahweh Bashim Shai. He speaketh through his men. Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. This is how we have the scriptures. How are you going to learn the words of Yahweh Bashim Shai without his word, which is the Bible? So that's why we have the scriptures, to teach unto you, to speak to you the words of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Right? It's Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity, which or unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So we don't care about, you Jakes who, oh, that's a white man's book, and y'all brainwash, y'all this, y'all that. That's not going to happen. Y'all said that's going to happen. It ain't going to be for another 100 years, all this and that. And even also you heathens saying the same thing, because ultimately y'all comfortable in Babylon. You Jakes, you comfortable being slaves. You comfortable being oppressed. As long as everything all right, you can do the things that they allow you to do. You don't care. You don't have a rulership mentality. And we understand what you heathens. Of course, if we telling you that your kingdom coming down and you're going to be destroyed and you're going to go into slavery and then be destroyed again, be it, Edomites, of course you don't want to believe what we saying. But you're going to have to face the facts, and you're going to have to face the music when the Lord bring these things to pass, which he is doing right now. Right? And it say verse 4, for all the unfaithful, right? So those who don't believe, the only ones who can really be faithful to Yahweh Bashim Shai are Israelites. So to hell with you heathens, you through. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So if you don't believe, then the Lord said you're going to die for it. And that's on you. Verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. So it's the Lord bringing these plagues upon the world. Whether you think, well, man's doing it, or it's coming by, naturally from the Lord. The Lord. All things are controlled by Yahweh Bashim Shai, no matter how you put it. So it's him bringing it, whether a man doing it on purpose or not. Right? It say, I will bring plagues upon the world. The sword, famine, death, and destruction. So the Lord is bringing all these things. But it's not for no reason, because verse 6 says, why? For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. What happened in the previous world when when the wickedness exceedingly polluted the whole earth? The Lord did what? Destroy it by a flood. So the main destruction will come after all these plagues He sent to the world. With the pestilence plagues, earthquakes. All these things that get sent. That final and great plague is going to be what? The thermonuclear missiles and those concentrated laser beams that's going to come from Yahweh and the holy angels from the chariots and those nukes that's going to be sent. Those going to be fired from various countries to hit the world. That's the end all be all to what's coming. For the wickedness of this whole earth, right? Jumping down, it says, right here, verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, those who till the ground, your farmers. That's what they were saying. Like, they can't plant the stuff that they could plant this last year, or we can't plant nothing at all, and we can't do this and that. Fertilizer prices are jumping. They mourning that, and they say, for their seed shall fail through the blast and the hail and with fearful constellation. Even the ones who can purchase seeds and fertilizer, stuff like that, hey, you got to understand that even like the weather plays a part in these things, right? You got the weather plays a part, or, fowls, animals, they eat the stuff and this and that. That's why they use the pesticide stuff, and they play a part. Like, if an area receives over, pretty much too much rain, they gonna flood out the rain is gonna flood out the seeds. And if it receives less, then that means what? It's not gonna receive the nutrients it needs to even for the seed to even bud. So those who are tilling the ground, man, they more than by a lot of facets. Dude talking about double whammy, triple whammy, whatever the case may be. Yeah, how about Shemel Shai is bringing these things to pass? You know what I'm saying? So we see that, hey, man, those, as the scripture say, man, they that till the ground up some more. These farmers are mourning right now. That's what they trying to figure out. What can I do? What can I plant so that I can at least bring in some, money to take care of my family? What can I do? I'm going to switch from corn. I'm going to go to soybeans. I'm going to switch from soybeans and go to this, the wheat. You know what I'm saying? That's what they trying to do. They trying to do what they can to provide for their family. But we know in time, in the coming times, they're not going to be able to. Verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So destruction is coming to the world, right? Real quick. Verse 18, right? Because what he say, but the people, they're not gonna believe it. So unfortunately, some people are not gonna take precautions. They're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. They're gonna think everything gonna be okay, and we're gonna always arise, right? Well, verse 18 say, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, right? So that pride, that high, your high and mighty thoughts, everything gonna be okay. Yeah, we go down, but we can always build back. We can always rise back to the top. That pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, right? Because the things that's gonna be coming to pass from Yahweh Shemel Shai, these prophecies come to pass. The scriptures say what was written in and without, lamentations, mourning, and woe, and that's what's coming to the world. Perilous times is coming. That's why men gonna be afraid. It say verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Man, he not gonna Jeff ain't gonna care about being in that day. He ain't gonna have no pity. Why? What he gonna do? But shall destroy their houses with the sword. He gonna pull up on you. He gonna come over there with whether they have some type of instrument of destruction or violence to kill you with, whether it be a gun, sword, hammer, machete, whatever the case may be. We understand the modern day sword mainly is a gun. But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. They're gonna rob you. They're gonna take what you got. I seen what they gonna be watching you. Damn. Tim was only able to spend $100 at the grocery store, where he seen Bill, he was able to spend $500. I know he got it over there. So what? I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna take his goods. Why? Because of the lack of bread. Why? Because of a famine, scarcity of food, and for great tribulation, because that's what's coming. Tumultuous times are coming. Perilous times are coming. Destruction is coming. Right? Scripture say destruction coming, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. No peace is coming. Only destruction is coming to this place for his wickedness. Right? Jumping over to the next chapter, verse 16. Salakia, chapter 16, starting verse 17. It say what? Second chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? This is the man of the Lord saying, woe is me, because why? The Lord showed them the visions of a destructive and perilous times coming, horrible times coming, evil times are coming. Right? Who will deliver me in those days? Because the man ain't going to be able to deliver himself. The only one's going to be delivered is Yahweh Shemel Shai. And that means if you of the elect, you're going to be delivered. But as far as everybody else, they not. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famines and great deaths. That's what's going on. Everybody's sorrowful, everybody mourning, the people not happy. I don't care how many people you see go out, downtown and go eat here, go to a bar and laugh and this and that. Man, the people really, when they go home, the world is in turmoil. It's horrible. Blaming the leaders, blaming this and that. The people is not happy. The beginning of the famine, right? But famine and great death. That's what's going on. That death happened every single day. Starvation happen every single day, but the Lord gonna bring it at a high value. Saying there's gonna be more and more death that's coming from these things, more and more famines. Didn't it say in the article that this famine is gonna affect all over the world? They're gonna say just, I know they aimed at In a sense, they aim it just towards the Babylon the Great, but it's going to affect the whole entire earth, as the scriptures say, as we know. In the article I said, right, the beginning of the wars, and they say they linking to one of the reasons why these shortages happen is the war between Russia and Ukraine, right? And we also got other wars with other various nations as well, right? The power shall stand in fear. You got even the elites, you got your mayors, your governors, your presidents, man, they in fear. They seeing that, man, that things are getting, things are going out of control. Things are being taken out of their hands. It's because Jehovah Shemashai bringing these perilous times, and they gonna stand in fear, right? A lot of people gonna be mad when these shortages happen and inflation going on. What they gonna do? Blame the governor, blame the mayor. They gonna blame you, and they gonna come after your ass. That's why the last previous chapter said, what, there should be sedition among men. They gonna come after those leaders who supposed to be protecting and preserving and providing for the people. They gonna come after you, right? They say so. They gonna stand in fear and say, "What, the beginning of evils, right? There's a beginning of bad times, and that's what we are entering in right now. What shall I do when these evils shall come?" So what you gonna do when these evils shall come? The fool gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna get my Glock. I'm gonna get my AR. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get a landmine, a grenade. I'm gonna be cool." No, what you gonna what shall I do when these evils shall come? You need to put your trust in your Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's your best bet, because that's the one who's sending these plagues, that's sending these evil times. What better for you to fall in the hands of the ones who's sending these things? He's the one that can preserve you and keep you from the destruction, right? So that's what the elect gonna do. And Lord, will we be at that number? We're gonna put our trust and faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai to provide and preserve us through these perilous times. Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges, right? It's sent as punishment for amendments, for your correction. That's what they being sent. That's how the Lord deal with you. He not gonna just slap you in your hand and get you punched in the face, which you can send somebody to do that. But no, he gonna punish you in a harsh way, right? Sending famines and plagues at you as scourges, as punishments for amendment, for you to be corrected. But, verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn for their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Even when all these things come to pass, the Lord sending these scourges, the people going, they not going to think that it's okay, it's going to be all right. Or they're going to be mindful, they're going to still try to find the next basketball game to go to, try to plan more trips. And, the people just not going to care. They're not going to be mindful. They're going to think, something of biblical proportions happened. Maybe I should change my ways and seek you how about Shemel Shai. The people not going to do that. They're going to keep doing their wickedness, right? That's what they're going to continue to do. Behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And you still can go to your little supermarket, your Walmart, your all these, you can go whatever mom and pop store is still around. You can still go there and buy somewhat cheap items, but you can see also that them prices is raising up and going up. So people still think they be in a good case. I can go up to Burger King and get a $1.29 cheeseburger, whatever the case may be. Even them prices going up too. But that's why the people, they think themselves in a good case, man. Well, I don't gotta go. The chicken is it's $60 for 3-4 pounds. What I can still go to McDonald's and get a $3 bundle. What I'm saying? That's how the people think. They always think, well, if I can't go this route, there's another route that I can pretty much provide. I can be, I can have a safe haven. But then what it say? But even then, evil shall grow upon the earth, right? More evil's going to grow upon the earth when you think yourself in a good case, where you in your security, where you think everything all good in the hood. Even then shall evils, bad times grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. That's what the people are experiencing, right now. But it's going to get worse and worse, right? Verse 22 say, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So, hey, let's say you escape from the famine. You think, yeah, it's all good. Good. We just starved to death. We good. What's going to happen? The sword going to come destroy you. You going to have somebody come, kill you, shoot you, whether it be, UN troop, whatever troop, individual, a gang, whatever the case may be. The Lord going, if you are allotted for death and destruction, it's going to find you no matter what. So ain't nothing you can do. It's just to say, neither is there any that can deliver out of his hand. So that's going to happen. Many, like I say, many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. Many people going to die from lack of bread, from not being able to eat or drink anything, right? And then what the dude say? Take precautions, and you need to store up, and but the people's not going to listen. But even the scriptures say this. Where is it at? Verse 45. And therefore they that labor in vain. Why? For strangers shall reap their fruits, right? Go store up and stockpile and, bug out, and my bug out bunker and all this and that. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. So that's what's gonna happen. You can heap all these things up, and be a hoarder and heap all these food and water and drinks and stuff up. But the Lord say what? Strangers gonna come reap that your fruits and spoil their goods, steal it from you, and then kill you. And you take your children, do whatever the case, and do whatever the hell they want to do for you. That's why it's best to do what? To put your trust in Yahweh Shema Shai, right? And I'm gonna end it off right here. Because this is gonna be for the elect, right? We got the ugly, but we got the the elect gonna be good. They ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. This is Isaiah chapter 65 verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Why? Because when I called, ye did not answer. Right? He calling you through his men. Right? But you don't want to answer. You don't want to take heed to that. You don't like what's being piped unto you, right? Because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear. You turned your back on the Lord. You shrugged pulled the shoulder away. You didn't want to hear. You didn't want to take heed. You pretty much rejected protection. That's what you did. It say, when I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes. But you continue to be wicked. That's why I say, for all these orders, they shall not turn from their wickedness. You continue to be wicked instead of trying to do the things that are right to correct your ways. But did evil be before my eyes, and did not choose that wherein I delighted, and choose that wherein I delighted not. You did the things that did not delight Yahweh Shemashah. You did the things that anger him, made them upset with you. And therefore what? The judgment is at hand that he going to destroy you. Going on to say, verse 13, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashah power. Behold my servants, right? So, start with, the prophets, let's start with so our apostles, elders on down, the prophets, the teachers, all those who are a part of the ministry, even the women who are taking heed, being humble and listening, being in order, but the main service of Yahweh Shemashah is the men, we got to put that out there. He said, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. So the service of Yahweh Shemashah, ultimately his elect, they gonna eat. But you 2/3, you undesirable. So like I said, to hell with you heathens, to hell with you. We talk to our people. They say, y'all shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice. Why? Because they're going to be rejoicing in this time, in these perilous times, during, Jacob's trouble. Because of why? The Lord's going to preserve them and protect them the whole way. But ye shall be ashamed. You're going to be ashamed because you chose to forsake Yahweh Shemashah. You forsook your father. You forsook your brother. Right? You forsook those who were trying to help you. Right? But you're going to be ashamed because the day going to come where you're going to be like, man, I should have listened. Yeah, you damn right you should have. But the Spirit had it to where you're supposed to play your role of being the 2/3, those who forsook the Lord, and you're going to receive death and destruction. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of the spirit. Why? Because you chose to do that which delighted not the Lord. You chose to, I'm gonna do things my own way. Yeah, they tell me to go this route and do the right thing, but no, I want to do my way, which your way was what? Wickedness, was evil. So therefore, you're gonna receive the reward of death and destruction, of suffering, versus how the elect will receive the reward of rejoicing, of comfort and of joy. So like I said, Salaki, I didn't want to be too long, definitely, like I said, so you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man, hey, man, you need to repent, man, come back to Yahweh Shema Shai, seek ye while he may be found, call upon him while he is near, right? Forsake those wicked ways you was living by, so that you may be in the good graces, ultimately, if you be predestined to be an elect, so that when these times come, man, you be preserved. But as far as the latter, you 2/3, you heed this, man, death and destruction is going to come to you. And rightfully so from your actions. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to sincere Akia while Akwaf out there listening. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who grew well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that pushes the great gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom, Yasha Allah, Abai, Babal.